Look at him. He is the biggest muffin. He's the best. Well, if you don't know who this is Remy. He was once a kitten, and now he is extremely large. Oh, he's so big. And he has ruined my life by vomiting and pooping all over my apartment. Luckily, I've cleaned it up, but it sucks every time, and I hate it, and I'm mad. Hello, again, friends, lovers, enemies of the virus, which I think you could say that we all are right now. I'm just gonna go with my original idea. I thought about like coming up with something funny, and then I was like, I can't come up with something funny if I'm under a crunch. This is about Angelika Oles, which I believe is the way to pronounce her surname. I could be completely wrong about that, but that is the way that I believe a British person that I watch, who also watches her, like, said her name. I do apologize if I said it incorrectly. That is how I will be saying her surname for the duration of this video. So if I said it wrong, I'm so sorry. Who is Angelika? Angelika is a university student in the UK. She's 19. She's white, blonde, cishet for as much as I know, and is a drama channel. This is not really like an attack. This is more of like me just sort of like saying what my frustrations are with her. I feel like her content used to be better, and I think that these are the major reasons why it's failing. And I'm gonna kind of explain two sort of scenarios that have really like gotten under my skin. Start off with, I wrote stuff down. Can you believe it? I never do this. I'm never prepared. One of the main problems that I think is really pervasive across all of her videos is that she does not really use I first language, which is sort of the, let's say like I was in an argument with someone and I was like upset with them. In order to like make amends, I would say, I felt that what you said was very hurtful. Yeah. Rather than saying, like, you hurt my feelings. Because that comes across more, like, accusatory, whereas saying, I feel this gets the same message across, but it's just, like, better. It's more effective. The other person will be more willing to listen. Stuff like that. One of the biggest problems with her using you language rather than I language is that she ends up coming across like authoritative in a way, which honestly, first of all, as a woman on the internet, like, good for her for being able to come across as authoritative. I think that's a thing that's really hard to do, but it also adds to sort of a level of like rudeness or inconsiderateness that can come across in terms of like the way that she words things sometimes. The problem with this is that it makes it really difficult. Like if she's wrong about something, it makes it that much harder to like apologize or to correct yourself in the future, which is why it's much easier to like do that with I language. Like it takes ownership in a way rather than like deflecting and being like you're the problem, which like isn't totally the scenario, but like that's oftentimes how it can be interpreted is what I'm trying to say. So recently in a video of hers, she does these like mini teas. So instead of doing a video on one subject, which quite frankly I prefer that, but that's okay that she doesn't do that. In her most recent mini tea video as of me recording this, which is March 25th, she talked about the James Charles bi-sister controversy again, because Jeffree Star was like, I guess, being, what do you call it? Getting backlash again from this. And Angelika basically said, she basically continued to like put blame onto James Charles and said that like he is a bad person for the only reason really being that he has hit on straight guys, or allegedly straight guys. I mean, come on. As a gay person, I'm sure James's gaydar is better than that. She basically perpetuated the narrative that's already set up against him that says that he is a predator in a way made me really angry and frustrated. I felt very upset with Angelika for perpetuating this narrative. I feel like she doesn't do enough research for her videos. It can backfire on her and has backfired on her, which is really just an argument for including fewer news stories and actually researching more in depth. She basically was saying that she is like his same age, they're both 19, but that she doesn't push her sexuality on other people. Like, but not in the like, I'm gay and flamboyant. No, like in the trying to get other people to be interested in you kind of way. Yes, it should matter, like on an individual level, whether or not you are doing this, but when we're talking about a figure as large as James Charles, I think it's more important to talk about the sociocultural ramifications and like why this is a narrative that's being built up against him. And so like, yes, we have that it's like demonizing James Charles as a predator, which like is a thing that he has talked about in interviews and like was my perspective the entire time, but I was like, everyone else feels differently, so I, a queer not man, will keep quiet. Allegedly, James did not like push his sexuality on this guy, like the guy flirted with him, blah blah blah. I don't know which guy this was. There was like a few mentioned and I don't care enough. I feel like what Angelika was saying in like that point of like saying, oh, he pushed his sexuality was like only like a little bit of information and not like the full story. Like, I really need to say like straight up that like queer people don't actually really push their sexualities on other people, and saying that we do is really a very harmful narrative. I hope that I didn't need to say that, but I did. And really, this isn't that much of a problem in that way. It's much more of a problem in that straight people have... So there's a bunch of college students who live across from me who have not evacuated the premises. And they just started dancing around a tree. What I'm trying to say is that there's a much stronger, I guess, case for that like straight men and straight women frequently will hit on queer people relentlessly in a way that is like very different from what James did, question mark. Especially because like queer people are at a position of like vulnerability and violence at large in society. And so like this is really, I felt disappointed to see Angelika not acknowledge any of that history, any of those sort of like underlying parts of like the queer experience, and like and just kind of like side with Tati, the like straight person. I mean, this is so old, but like it was very disappointing to see that perspective come from her. And I just feel like what she could have done better, and Angelika, if you are like watching this, I feel like what she could have done better is include sort of like the voices and perspectives of queer people, because quite frankly, this is not a situation where straight people's opinions matter, because their opinions in this situation more often than not regress where society currently is. Truly, it's like research. If she did a little bit more research, spent a little bit more time, talked to queer people, and used this as a moment to elevate their voices as opposed to hers, it would have been like way better. I would feel much happier and more comfortable knowing that she was expressing the viewpoint of like a queer friend or like other queer people that she talks to, or just even just including their opinions. But it was not. Yeah. And like I get the feeling that she doesn't want to have a negative influence, but in this instance, I feel like she did have a negative influence. And then the last bit is truly a thing that is under my skin. Some people might be familiar with this project called the Eva Stories. It started off initially as a series of like Instagram stories and then moved to Snapchat this year. It is a project to basically tell the story of a Holocaust
victim.
but sort of if you were able to tell that story as it was going on, like right now through social media, in the way that we kind of have like immediate access to information and news and stuff. It was a project created by a bunch of Israelis whose grandparents were all Holocaust survivors and are the reason that they are alive today. Angelika, this one makes me sad. This one makes me really sad because I was very disappointed. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say this. This is the second time I've had to film this because I forgot I had a work call. I usually agree with her opinions and the things that she says. We have like fairly similar morals and it's all good. This is just a common theme. Like I think her biggest problems are not doing enough research and also like having a very limited perspective, and then presenting her opinion and viewpoint like it is the only one that exists, on issues where it's not just like, I like this movie, I didn't like this movie. No, it's like, are gay people predators?
So recently I went on Twitter and I saw this, which is Snapchat did something. Snapchat's always doing something. I don't have Snapchat anymore, so I just had to see this on Twitter. But they did a what if a girl in the Holocaust had Snapchat. For like, you know, they had the like awareness time now. I'm not sure what the exact dates were, but it was sometime in January. They had a lot of like celebrations for the people that went through it. People, you know, spoke up if they survived it. They spoke up about the whole situation if they have any relatives that went through it. It was just a time to basically just say this was a time in our history and we will never repeat it again. And Snapchat decided to, instead of paying tribute to the people that survived, people that went through it, people that came out alive, or they decided to do a what if a girl in the course had Snapchat, and posts included a girl saying they took my cousin to Poland, and then a picture of Hitler, and this is the evil man who sent my cousin to Poland. Okay, that's all the ones I have on here. I'm sure there were more. How disgusting is that? Am I the only one? No, I can't be the only one. Disgusting. This is absolutely grim. I don't even have to explain to people why that is gross. Wow, this Snapchat really did something there.
It's just like if she did like a little bit of research, like clicked on their Instagram or their Snapchat, she could have very easily found out that it is an art project that has been made by descendants of survivors. As a Jewish person, so like the group of people who was most impacted by the Holocaust, it was disappointing, to say the least. And people called her out. I called her out multiple times. I sent her DMs, everything. No apology, which is disappointing. And I feel that like if she didn't use her voice as like this is the end all be all and like this is I'm right about this, it would be much easier for her to apologize. Especially like I feel that she should be apologizing, because she frequently talks about like people needing to apologize that are like other influencers. Like, just apologize. If you were like, oh no, I'm so sorry, I should have done more research, and I'm grateful that these commenters and Jewish people have told me what the project actually is and what it's about. But she never did. Not in a video, not in a tweet, nothing. And it still bothers me all of the time. And I had one other thing. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess it's sort of tangentially related, but she also falls into this trap that a lot of Goyish people fall into. Gentiles are at it again every day. They be roaming these streets. They be saying, all religion is bad. Is it all religion, or is it just the religion that you have personal experience in? She frequently talks about religion broadly in a way that really only reflects Christianity. This is extremely disappointing. If Angelika sees this, I want her to know that I like her videos for the most part. I just think she would benefit from doing a little bit more research, not using so much you language or like this is how it is, and incorporating a little bit more like, I think this is gross, I think this is great, whatever her feeling is on a particular topic. And I also think that she would benefit from apologizing. Just apologize for some things. It's okay to be wrong. You know. And like apologizing sucks, and like it does get easier with time and with doing it more. Like it took me until probably like last year to be able to apologize for anything. So let me know if you agree with me. I would love for Angelika to not block me, and also for her videos to maybe improve a little bit on the research and the first language kind of stuff. So we'll see. She probably won't see this, so it doesn't really matter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am like wonky with YouTube right now. Like I don't like the critiques that I was getting before, which were all like very much people just complaining about stuff that is not related to my channel at all, like saying that I'm doing YouTube for money, which you can't do if you have less than 1,000 subscribers. I don't even think you can do it with 1,000. I think they might have upped it to 10,000. And I'm trying to like keep a lot of the ideas that I would have done as videos for like articles, because I'm trying to like really like improve my portfolio, which has been going really well. I mean, like I have never been published this much in my life, and I hope that this trend continues. I'm very happy with where my writing is right now. So I just sort of need to find my footing with like what's good to do as a video versus what's good to do as writing. Hopefully you will see a video from me soon. I will be bored and stuck inside, so like I feel like this is like, I got this, and you'll get more entertainment, which is like, we all need that right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to like, give it a like, and if you want to subscribe, you are welcome to. And if you want to comment, be not mean to me, please. Thank you so much for watching. I don't remember what my sign off is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Mamma mia, here I go again. How could I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show?